Hello, I'm attorney Elizabeth Botsford and I practice estate planning in California. Gosh, the news has been pretty grim the last few weeks, has it not? And here we are all self-isolating and finally getting on with the jobs that we've been putting off for so long. And one of those for you might be creating an estate plan. And so I thought it would be very useful for quite a lot of people to go over the absolutely basic information that really applies to almost all Californians when it comes to estate planning law. Now, I'm going to divide people into three different categories of consumer for this, so that you might be in the very lucky situation of being able to afford an attorney. And I urge you very strongly, if you possibly can, to hire an attorney to help you with your estate plan. And for those people, they're going to be watching this series, and it's going to ensure that when they do have that initial meeting with their attorney, they can use the time very efficiently, because you don't want to be spending $500 an hour learning stuff you can get for free on the internet. And also it means that you can create a list of what are the questions, what are the issues that I'd like to grapple with for my family and for my personal situation when I get to the attorney's office, because it's very difficult to be an active consumer with lawyers. Sometimes they're terribly daunting, and it's so easy just to forget what it is you were going to say. So if you go through this series, then I really strongly suggest you write down questions that you have that remain for you and that you think, oh yeah, that really rings a bell with me. I'm going to write this down so that I can remember when I go and see my attorney that this is something I wanted to discuss. And then there's another group of people who, we're all supposed to be self-isolating now. So we're sitting at home and we might say, well, okay, I'm going to go to one of these online estate planning services and I'm going to create an estate plan for that. And if you have a very kind of basic, non-tricky situation, then that might be sufficient. And if you don't have the money for an attorney, then that might be the best that you can do. But there is quite a lot of jargon, technicalities, and it might throw up issues that you didn't realize you're going to have to grapple with. And so if you follow along with this series, then you might be able to get through those online questionnaires more productively. And then there's a third group of people who are in a very tricky situation because they have complications that really do need to be addressed by an attorney, but they don't have the money. And they might be turning to one of the associations that might help them. So for example, the Alzheimer's Association or the AARP or California Lawyers for the Arts, or one of the law clinics attached to law schools where students are supervised by professors who are in fact practicing attorneys. And, in that situation, it's particularly important that it's a two-way street, and that we know when someone's volunteering their time, we really need to be efficient with their time and to ensure that we're doing our bit. And I do think that if you follow along with this series, that you're going to be able to be more participatory in the process, and that can only lead to a much better product, a much better outcome for you. So I'm addressing all those three different people. And what are we going to address? Well, I'm going to address the various documents that almost everybody needs in their estate plan if you are a California resident. So we're talking about powers of attorney, nomination of conservator, and then if you're the parent of a minor child, nomination of guardian, and then an advanced healthcare directive, a will, and a bit about trusts. Now, I want to say at the beginning that I do not know you, and as a result, I'm not in a position to give any legal advice, and there's no legal advice at all that is contained in any of these videos. this is only background information, and it is for you to go out and find an attorney who can provide you with the right legal advice for you and your family. So in these videos, there is no attorney-client relationship established. Now, I'm a YouTube newbie, and I'm not. I think it's called a digital native, and more than that, I've actually got a very slight stutter. So I'm the last person on earth who was ever going to be a YouTube presenter, but it's a brave new world. We all have to just plough forward and do our best and grapple with reality as it now is. So I hope that you'll join me in this series, and I welcome you. Please put down below your questions. Please don't put in personal information about yourself into the public realm, but just generalized questions, and I'll try and answer them. And then also subscribe, and I think ring the bell. I don't even know really the technical word, but I hope that you will enjoy these videos, and I hope that you'll learn a lot. So I look forward to welcoming you in the next ones. Thank you so much for listening.